Thank you. I've studied a lot of different teachers, and a lot of them talk about enlightenment, and some of them talk about how all the desires we have on the physical level, some of them say it's fine to have them.
Good, because you can't help it.
Right.
The entire universe is established to provide them. You are on the leading edge of thought. You better get in the flow of that.
Right. Some of them say behind every physical desire is this deep longing for, they have different names for it, but what many call enlightenment. And I want to understand this more. The other part about it is some of them say when you get into this state, then you no longer need to incarnate. And I wonder about that. And I also wonder, is enlightenment just alignment?
We have to say to you that there is nothing that could be less accurate than the statement that incarnation is for the less enlightened. Mm-hmm. Because incarnation is the leading edge. Where do they get this stuff?
Well, these are other channeled, a lot of other channel beings too, and I wonder about that.
Well, they're just wrong. There's not a shred of evidence anywhere in your universe to support that. Let's talk about what enlightenment is. Okay. Enlightenment is the allowing of the light. Mm-hmm. Enlightenment is the allowing of the energy that is source. Enlightenment is the raising of vibration. Enlightenment is what we've been talking about here. It's moving up this vibrational meter, you see. One day we were visiting with someone, and they were talking about someone who had counseled them to release their desires because their desires were heavy and bulky by the perspective of this counselor. And they were encouraged to release their desires for these worldly things. And we said, and what is the reason for you to do that? Why are they encouraging you to do that? And they said, because then I will be more enlightened. And we said, and then what? And they said, and then I will feel more joy. And we said, is not joy a desire? Mm-hmm. Is not joy the ultimate desire? There are a lot of physical humans that are trying to make it both ways by making the list of appropriate desires here and the list of inappropriate desires here. But desires are either appropriate or they are not. And we have to say to you, desire is the first summoning of that which is source. It is inherent in the eternalness that we all are. In fact, it is so significant that all of you said, I want to go forth into this contrasting time-space reality so that the desire can be inspired within me. And when it is born, whether I speak about it or not, there will be summoning power on my behalf that occurs. In other words, the universe is established this way. And the greatest grief that we see anywhere in the universe is right here in this leading edge humandom of physical experience where people are trying to resist the desires that are naturally born. When we come back from segment of refreshment, we will pick our way through your list until we have brought you to the place of enlightenment. And are you refreshed? Yes. You're ready to continue?
Yes.
Did you hear us say that you may be here and you may want more money, or you may be here without a relationship that you want and you may want a relationship, but really what you are wanting is the way you think you will feel when you achieve it? Mm-hmm. And so we believe that many of them, that's what they're getting at, is that this enlightenment is the raising of one's vibration into alignment with that which you really are, so that you can then be the clear, full extension of that source energy that is really you. And we are in agreement with much of what your teachers have been saying to you, that unless you are tending to your alignment first, then there is not much joy to be experienced. And we see so many who are not allowing themselves vibrational alignment with who they are and who we are. Here is the misunderstanding. There are many who recognize, because they can feel you when you are in your connection. And when you are standing here and you want to be over there, and you are feeling frustration about not being over there, that frustration is an evidence of resistance, and that is not a state of enlightenment. That's not a state of full connection. And so we can understand how a teacher would then assume that if you could release that desire, that then you would release that friction, and in releasing the friction, then you would be in a place of greater enlightenment. And we think that that really is what they are getting at. They too are wanting to assist you in releasing your resistance so that you can be in absolute alignment with who you really are. What we are wanting to say emphatically, however, is that the path to less resistance is not about releasing desire. The path to less resistance is about releasing resistance. And there's a big difference, you see. You will never be able to release your desires because they keep being born again. You cannot live in an environment where you can speculate and conclude without preferences being born. It is the nature of all consciousness, you see. It is the nature of the expanding universe. And so we were a little harsh. We were wanting to be playful because we understand that they are very well-meaning. But often there is a misinterpretation of that. And that's what we meant when we say there is not a shred of evidence anywhere to the contrary that this is other than an expanding universe. And we know that the reason that it expands is because asking keeps being born. We understand that this universe is attraction-based. It is inclusion-based. There is no assertion, you see. Where the premise that seems to be purported by part of what you were at least projecting here is that there must be some God somewhere who understands what well-being is and where it is, and that you should have some and is wanting to assert it to you and is wanting to decide for you. And we say, your experience causes the culmination of your desire, and your desire summons source energy. And that's just the way this universe expands. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Would you say that where you are in terms of this subject is where you were when you first arrived this morning?
Oh, no.
So already you've moved. Where do you find yourself right now, emotionally? Where do you find
Abraham,
yourself?
You keep making it so hard.
Where do you find yourself on this? It's interesting that you say that, because we are giving you the keys to ease.
Yes. Yes. And is it my stubbornness?
Yes.
My what? I walked right into that one, didn't I?
It's your habit of thought. Yeah. It's your habit of approaching. But what we're attempting to do here with you is give you a new orientation, a new way of looking, a new goal.
Yeah.
A new, this is where I am and this is where I want to feel goal, because
yes.
Everything is tied to that. So it is a little bit different approach. We know that you, like almost everybody else, would like to explain more around it, but you keep getting off the subject.
I could just talk and talk and talk.
Yes. So where are you?
I have a sense of excitement inside of me in accepting that things can be different. I can feel different.
Yes.
I was saying to someone at lunch today, since I've heard your tapes, I have had days that when I didn't know what else to do with the feelings that I had going on, I started singing hymns of the church that I knew from childhood, from Jesus Loves Me right on up, you know. And I spent the day in my yard working and singing hymns to not dwell on negative stuff.
Yes.
And I know how much better that felt.
Yes. We have some questions for you.
Okay.
Do you believe that it is possible for you, under your current circumstances, to feel wonderful? Or do you believe circumstances have to change before the way you feel will change?
I believe I can feel wonderful in the setting that I'm in.
Perfect. Because we believe that you could feel wonderful in any setting that you're in. And that is worrisome to our physical friends, because then they suspect that we're just trying to get you to feel better so that you won't notice negative circumstances. And really, we're wanting to get you to feel better because that's what causes circumstances to change.
Yeah.
In other words, your mother could actually make her transition, and you could actually get into a worse feeling place rather than a better feeling place, depending upon what thoughts you decide to choose around it. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for you to get yourself in that empowered place of feeling good anyway, and then you'll go right into ecstasy when circumstances shift a little bit and give you some of the freedom that you've been so much wanting.
Yes.
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 Hi. This is very exciting.
Yes, it is.
Part of my question was answered earlier.
Yes.
But the part that I am seeking words for, energy, thoughts, is how to be a soother. 2 days ago, we had a family member have a baby boy. The baby was born without an ear. They think they can, with surgeries, put an ear on the child when he gets older. And we're just astonished that that happened. The baby's loved. Everybody in the family is saying, well, we can fix that, which is a bringing together of our energy. They always want to know, what am I up to? What about this? So I have permission with them to talk to them about things. Where I would like to go is, at some point, they're going to start to feel like they didn't do something right in having this child. And I know this child is very unique and here to teach us.
Yes.
And he is here to have us expand.
And where does the child's deliberate creation end and the parent's deliberate creation begin? In other words, are these parents right off the bat going to start taking responsibility for the creation of this child's life, or are they going to give this child the right to create his own experience?
I think right now they're overly concerned. They're saying whatever this child needs, we'll do it. If the child was born with both ears, they'd be like, oh, we got a boy, let's go do boy things. But I think right now, it's 2 days old, they're still in the hospital. They're being influenced so much by the medical profession about what this child needs, that it's like he's not getting the fair chance to just be.
Well, here's what we would like to give to you, and you can use your sensitive knowing in deciding whether or when to impart this to them. Now, first we want to be clear. This child will be able to hear just fine. But wanted to make the point that he's not really all ears. And the point is, I'd sort of like to make some of my own decisions, and while I'm willing to listen to you, I plan on you budding out pretty early on. In other words, that is the message that this child wanted to find a way to impart to these parents. And that was far more important than being given the label of normal, healthy baby boy. This energy came forth wanting to be known as abnormal, freedom-seeking energy, you see. Mm-hmm. And we are delighted in this masterful manifestation. Also, this is a teacher that is wanting to help everyone understand that everybody doesn't have to be the same way. And that's a hard thing for physical beings, because most physical beings say, well, it's so much easier if we're all the same. And we say, it is not easier when you're all the same. Conformity is the thing that thwarts you most. That massive drumming of wanting to get you to conform, to all think the same way and want the same things, is what is causing every one of those personal revolutions that's going on inside of you. In other words, by revolution we mean the revolt that is happening within you. You are determined to be freedom seekers in a mass consciousness society that is determined to make you the same. And so every now and again these powerful energies come forth just wanting to make a statement. And what a wonderful statement that is. In other words, I'm different. See me that way. See me as different. This is not just an accident that the message that is being imparted with the absence of the ear. In other words, it couldn't have as easily been a nose or a toe. It was an ear for a reason. Mm-hmm. I'm going to listen to you a little bit. But not like you want me to. And you can attach all the artificial ears on the side of my head that you want to. It's not going to change anything. Yes. Okay. It won't change who I am. It won't change the joy that I have in life. In fact, my life experience has the opportunity of being more joyful, more powerful, more free than anyone that you have ever met. I've come forth with that intention. Just watch me. Watch the joyful life that unfolds for me. And fret not on my behalf. I don't plan on it.
Right.
Very good.
Marvelous. Thank you.